Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we have got news as always. When it comes to the transfer window, it's always very busy. It's always a lot happening. Of course, in hindsight, the Euros, when that happened, that should have been the time where transfers were happening, because now into mid/late July, with about a week and a half to go until August, you're looking at getting the season ready. You're not looking at late signings, because what happens is most players are on breaks, so they can't even come and do the deal or presentation or whatever. But also the rush, and also because of the rush, teams will charge more and they will up the price and the fee, because they are like, you know what, we are the selling team, you are the desperate buying team, we set the price, we do what we want, and it's on you. And that is a problem we have had, really. So things are still going on, but it's just a lot less than usual. And this summer has been a lot quieter than last, because last summer, without any distractions and disruptions within the summer, every day from the start of June until July, late July, you are having rumors and news and deals happening. But we've had a month away basically for the Euros, so a month is gone, and we don't know um, what will happen. That is the fact, and many teams, not just Real Madrid, haven't done much in the transfer window. But today we're talking about the goalkeeping situation, Lunin, and a bit more. Also, a few other bits as well. Starting off though, this is not new. This news is not fresh. But let's start off with Lunin. Pending confirmation, Lunin is close to signing for Chelsea from Alberto Pereiro, who is a narrator for Real Madrid. Now, keep in mind, at this time, which was yesterday when this came out, Alberto Pereiro was the only person who came out with this. Fabrizio didn't, no one else did. So let's keep that in mind. Then we move. It's not really a timeline, it's sort of that. It's not really. Then we had this. Real Madrid have not received any approach from Chelsea for Andre Lunin so far. Kepa is giving priority to Real Madrid in case Lunin does leave. This, from Fabrizio Romano, contradicts with what Alberto Pereiro said, because he said it's close, but in hindsight, there hasn't even been an approach. Yeah. The second part, Kepa giving priority, we have heard this, we know this. We know that if Lunin does leave, Kepa will be the main man to replace him. And I mean, we'll talk about that later on, but it's pretty evident. We move. Just in, Andre Lunin's departure is a strong possibility from Fabrizio Romano today. And then we go back to yesterday. Chelsea are looking to sign a goalkeeper, but Lunin is not the profile they are looking for, from Matt Law of the Telegraph, right? And then back to today, for some reason, Kepa is rejecting big money for Real Madrid, basically Saudi Arabia. He wants to return even as a backup goalkeeper from Fabrizio Romano. And lastly, on Kepa believes that there's a concrete chance that he will return to Real Madrid, also from Fabrizio Romano. So let's just lay the background for you, right? What has happened here is Lunin to Chelsea was apparently close. That's gone out of the window. In fact, Chelsea are not even looking for him because he's not a profile. He will probably stay, although he could still leave, and it's a strong possibility he'll leave. And if he does somehow leave for any team, I think the Premier League is a very, very hot destination for goalkeepers this summer. If he leaves, Kepa will be the man. Now I'll tell you why Kepa will be the man, and there's basically two reasons to it. Firstly, it's not because he's Spanish. I've seen people say that. I mean, look, Lunin is Ukrainian. That doesn't really make sense. Anyways, but we move. Firstly, he's willing to become the backup to Courtois. And we know Thibaut Courtois will be the main goalkeeper. There's no debate in that. I mean, there's a reason why Lunin is leaving, right? That's number one. And number two, he's a good character to have around. He's probably that one guy in the dressing room who is probably funny, gets along well with everyone. He's just for the vibes kind of guy. He's just there to bring, maybe not necessarily the experience, although he's one of the more senior players, but he's not old in a sense. Isn't he like 25 or 26 anyways? He's not that old. But he just wants to be there. You know, he's just happy to be there. And it's not like as if he's happy to be there, but he doesn't perform or he plays badly. Last season, in the limited games he had, he played well. He did play well. And then he obviously got injured. Lunin came in, took his spot. So, there's that. But let's see what happens with this deal. Now let's move on to a different position that we will have to talk about, and that is centre back. What are we doing here? Real Madrid are calm about the centre back situation. They have Tchouaméni and there is no rush to sign anyone. Right now, no names have come out of the club. They are going to keep a very close eye on the transfer window in case a market opportunity comes along for Mate Moreto. Now look, what does this mean? It means what Real Madrid always does. No panic, no worry, let's just see what happens. If not, we'll just go into the season with what we have. This happened with the striker situation last season. You know, we heard this. Real Madrid wanted Mbappe, they weren't going to get him. They were going to look at options. You know, we saw the likes of Harry Kane getting mentioned. And we were like, that's a good one, let's get him. And then Real Madrid didn't get him, and they went into the season with no strikers, but Joselu. And he was basically on a few million euros because of the loan. So yeah, let's move. With Real Madrid are not in a panic about a centre back. In case a good opportunity comes in the last weeks of the window, then they would consider it. Otherwise, they will stay with the same squad from Fabrizio Romano. The way he put it is pretty scary, because it's really like it's not gonna happen, because he says the last weeks of the window, then they would consider it. So now we're not gonna do anything because there isn't a panic. There isn't a we must get a centre back. There isn't an urgency to get that. But let's just remind you that Real Madrid's backup centre backs, one of them is Jesus Vallejo. Yeah. And we did sell Rafa Marin, and in hindsight, if we had known we weren't going to get Lenny Euro, would we sell Rafa Marin? No. But was he going to be good enough? I don't think so. So you can't look back and say that deal shouldn't happen, because firstly, you can't predict what's going to happen in a deal, and secondly, I don't think he was going to be good enough anyways. I don't think Jesus Vallejo is good enough anyways. Why is he still here? Like, this is a man that should have left like 3 years ago. So you put this aside, you put this away. Now you have got Alaba, who isn't even going to be fit for at least the first 2 to 3 months of the season potentially. And you've got Alaba, Rudiger, and Militao. And Militao has just come back from a season-long injury. In the last month or so of last season, he made many mistakes, and Nacho had to step in the Champions League final as well to help him out. Now Nacho's gone. Who are you going to play centre back? You're going to start Tchouaméni at centre back? Really? I just think that is a really, really dangerous plan. Real Madrid speak of Sevilla as a possible place to bring in a centre-back from. However, it is not clear if Real Madrid will buy a centre-back for Mario Cortegana of the Athletic Real Madrid writer. Now look, this is very interesting that Mario Cortegana, one of the most respected Real Madrid journalists out there, one of the most actually, has come out with this. Now, I found this very, very interesting who he could be talking about. Now, if you go through every centre back, right, you go through club by club, right, and I think I might be missing a few here, right. If you go to the big clubs, are we gonna say anyone from Inter Milan? It's not gonna be anyone that's a big name. It's not going to be a Bastoni, for example. That's out of the window. You have to look at price. I don't think Real Madrid will splash 80 million or 100 million. I think if you can get a player for 25, 30 million, sure, right? Are you going to be able to get a player like Bremer for 25, 30 million? No. I think he'll be maybe 50, maybe. Who else is there? There's not a lot of options out there, to be honest. I'm surprised he did say Serie A because there's not a lot of options. I was looking at, it's not going to be Scalvini from Atalanta. Calafiori, we'll talk about him later. It's going to Arsenal, isn't he? Who are you going to get? Are you going to go and bring back Mario Gila? Like, is that going to happen? Like, I think that if Rafa Marin isn't good enough, I think Mario Gila is the tier below that. I do think so. That's not going to happen though, is it? I mean, who else can you get? Serie A actually isn't a place where there are a lot of centre backs that are realistic, and you're looking at a realistic price as well, 25 million. So I'm surprised that he did say and suggest Serie A, unless you're gonna go and get some young 15-year-old, okay, maybe not 15, 17-year-old from some random club, and you're gonna put him in. Apart from that, I don't see it. So let's see what happens with the centre back deal. Yeah, welcome. And the Lenny Euro deal that we missed out on, I don't think that affects anyone. I really don't. And it's just the way it is. Now, to end off, as I said, Calafiori. This is the exclusive from Fabrizio Romano. Exclusive. Arsenal and Bologna have reached an agreement for Riccardo Calafiori. After breakthrough reviewed earlier, understand fee is 40 million euros plus 5 million euro add-ons and sell-on clause. Final step needed. Bezos and Bologna to agree 50% sell-on payment terms. Then here we go. Can I just say, right? That Bezos are getting 22.5 million euros out of this deal. Or am I tripping? Oh, it's 50% sell-on payment terms. Wait, what? I'm really confused. I thought it was a sell-on clause. Like, they get 50%. Is it? I don't know. I'm getting confused. I'm really getting confused. But anyways, Bezos have done well to get whatever 50% sell-on payment terms are. But anyways, it's a good deal for Arsenal. He was really unlucky with the own goal against Spain. Apart from that, other people say he's the reincarnation of Maldini and Nesta, so that's pretty interesting. But let me know what thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the thumbs did, subscribe to the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.